Okay, I'm gonna admit this. I'm a little bit surprised, partly because I didn't really know about this until just today. In fact, maybe 30 minutes prior to looking at this video. This news comes straight from Austria. It's there. Yesterday there was an election, and apparently, the People's Party, which is a center-right party, despite the name, it kind of sounds a little bit socialistic, I know, but that is a conservative party. Anyway, they managed to win first place in the election. They managed to win at least 31 to 32% of the vote. That's a big, huge step. In fact, I think I think there were actually a few people who've said that it will be a People's Party victory, but they didn't realize how much of a significance this would be. In fact, let me show you something. The Nationalist Freedom Party, which is a far right party, that's it is completely different from the People's Party, actually won 26% of the votes, while the Social Democrats barely came in at second with 27% of the vote. And after a while, even before this election, there has actually been talk of a coalition forming between the Freedom Party and the People's Party, with Sebastian Kurz as the new head of this coalition. And apparently that's going to be what's happening. And as a result of this whole election, Sebastian Kurz is now going to be the youngest leader in the entire Western world. At the age of 31 years old. He just turned 31 just a few months ago. I can't remember the exact birth date, but he is 31 and is literally the youngest person in the entire Western free world. I think even younger than Justin Trudeau up in the north in Canada. But yeah, that's pretty much a big deal. And what's even a bigger deal is because Sebastian Kurz was actually, before all of this, he was the foreign minister of all of Austria, who's been pretty much vocal against this whole immigration thing, how Austria's taking in a lot of people for asylum and stuff. And he obviously doesn't like that. He, in fact, actually campaigned throughout in his entire job as a foreign minister to actually limit the number of asylum seekers to enter Austria. In fact, he actually supports closed borders along with the Freedom Party. In fact, that's kind of what the fact that the People's Party are adopting some of the same language that the Freedom Party is using. It's one of the reasons why they managed to win, because, well, Austrians are obviously disenfranchised. They hate the fact that there's a migrant crisis. They hate the fact that there's terrorism as a lot of it is a major result of the migrant crisis. They hate how their culture is being attacked, how their own nation state is being attacked, and they just obviously had enough. In fact, I think it's fair to say we should add Austria as one of the many countries across the entire globe that's already being influenced by this populist, nationalist, right-wing movement. And it's not the only one. In fact, just back on my birthday of September 25th, the Alternative for Deutschland party, which is a far-right party, actually managed to win at least 13% of the vote in the Federal Republic of Germany. That means they are the third largest party in all of Germany, and they have significant power. Hell, they even managed to take a whole lot of seats from Angela Merkel's CSU party, and even some from the Social Democrats there. It's a big, huge win. again, like I said before, this entire event with showing in Austria is much like that is happening across in Europe, from Germany to Holland to France to Britain. And while it's true that some of these movements did not succeed in the terms of what the mainstream media says, they definitely had a major impact. Let's take a look at Holland for a second. Holland, I think it was also called the Freedom Party, but I can't remember what it was called. I can't remember if that's the exact term. They managed to get second place. They managed to get second place in the entire Dutch Parliament. That was just a big shocker. And while it was apparent, some people were being hopeful that this same party would actually be in first place. Despite that, they managed to make a major impact. They are showing the major discontent in just Holland as an example of that one small nation. In that one small nation of Holland, they're obviously disillusioned by the fact of how the EU and a lot of these politicians are handling the crisis that's falling on Europe. Now let's take a look at France. As we already know, Emmanuel Macron won the election. I apparently did not like that. You can see my first video. And Marine Le Pen won a third of the vote. A third of the vote. Let's just think about that. A third of the entire voting population of France is willing to vote for a far right nationalist such as Marine Le Pen because they're so disenfranchised. They're so pissed off about how everything has been going on, and they're right. I mean, they've been going through terrorist attacks like Nice and Paris. I think there was also one in Normandy where a priest was actually attacked by another Muslim. But the point is, they are getting. Europe itself is getting so basically angry with all of this, and it's sweeping the entire continent. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if this is not the last time that the right-wing populist nationalist movement would actually take control of another national government. I don't recall another election being held. As far as I know for right now, but to be honest, I think that it's possible that this movement would sweep through all across Europe. True, they may not always be very successful, but they will leave a major impact, and it showed how disgruntled Europeans are with their own leaders. I mean, take a look at Germany. I know I used this example earlier, but take a look at Germany. Angela Merkel, although she won a fourth term, yeah, I said fourth, and they definitely should have term limits there, but they have lost seats, lost major amounts of seats, and they have lost so much support. This shows how much Angela Merkel is unpopular in the Federal Republic of Germany, and how much her power base has dwindled. This is definitely should be a wake-up call for these politicians. A very big wake-up call, because if they do not do something soon, and if they do not understand what issues Europeans have with all of this, they're going to lose they're going to lose not only their popularity, they're going to lose their job. And possibly the right-wing nationalist populist movement will come in and replace them with new figureheads. In fact, I kind of would love to see that, because Europe is such a shithole right now because of so much of stupid crap that's been going on lately basically in terms of how they're dealing with the migrant crisis, with the EU, with basically the undermining of the nation state. That's I think that this would actually be a benefit to them. Let's also be clear here. This election is further example showing how much far right wing politics is now becoming part of the mainstream. I mean, yeah, there is center right politics and there's center left politics. That's the obvious case. But now, far right parties like the Freedom Party in Austria are starting to gain more ground. Like I said before, this is showing how much Europeans are angry at their own leaders. I can't honestly. I don't think that this is the end. I do not believe it's the end. I think there's an election in Sweden like in 2018 or something. Like I said before, I don't know, and it's been a while since I checked in on that. But if there is, I'm hoping that any of the nationalist, populist, right-wing supporters would go out and vote and win a big majority. Because Europe needs to wake up. That's all I have for you in this video. My name is Noah Meehan from The Arc Truth. Please post, comment, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and yeah. My name is Noah Meehan, like I said before, and yeah, bye.